Who am I to call myself an artist? Here are a few actions you can take to boost your confidence in your creative abilities and learn to believe in the value of your work. Hi, I'm Elena, artist and content creator, and if you feel like your art is not good enough, this video is for you. Growing up, art has been my one constant. I always found fulfillment in various forms of art, be it drawing, photography, writing, filming, and audio recording. Art also brought me solace in times of uncertainty and grief. It was the only thing that felt true to me compared to all the jobs I've worked. However, I didn't have the confidence to take my art seriously, let alone pursue it as a career for a very long time. As a child, I had an uncomfortable experience at a painting course, which left me feeling that my art and therefore I'm not good enough.
Emotional damage!
So I end up with what so many other people do. I worked in jobs that didn't suit me. At some point I felt so miserable, and after some traumatic events taking place in my life, things were put into perspective. Taking my art seriously and starting my small business taught me to challenge myself. This change wasn't easy. I'm not an expert, but what I can do is sharing my story with you, because back in the day when I felt stuck in my job, not knowing what I want to do with my life and art being the only thing that felt like me, I wish I would have stumbled across a video like this one. Here are a few actions you can take to boost your confidence in your creative abilities and learn to believe in the value of your work. Find your why instead of seeking external validation. Okay, story time. As a child, teenager, and even as a young adult, I had no idea what I wanted to do professionally. I knew that I liked to draw, record myself on my cassette recorder, write poems, blog posts, and scripts for sketches, create collages. My homework book looked like an art project, and document my life with my little digital camera. I was super hyped when I met other artists around my age who did what I didn't dare to dream of. I remember thinking how cool they were, but every time I looked up what I need to bring on the table in order to make art my profession, I backed out. I thought I wouldn't be able to do that. Who am I to call myself an artist? In 2016, after uni, I accepted a 40-hour job in the social work field, and I hated it. My week only consisted of my commute to work, working for 8 hours a day, shift work on top, buying groceries if possible, and on the weekends I had no energy for anything. I no longer had a life outside of my work. 5 other jobs followed this one, some of them even in completely different work fields. Fast forward in 2020, as we all know, the world pandemic hit and it affected all of us. I started my small business in a challenging period of my life because before this major event, our parents passed away, both of them in less than a year. During this time, I used my free time mainly for drawing. At some point, I reduced my working hours massively and ended up with a 12 hours work week. The thought of starting my own small business, finally taking my art seriously, and only doing what feels true to me got me through the day. It didn't matter if my family or friends supported me. I needed this for myself. Nothing brought me more joy than helping others through my art. I also knew even if it didn't work out, I would continue to create art. If your drive for creating art is influenced by the opinion of others, your motivation and passion will also become dependent on it. Meaning if you don't receive recognition and appreciation for your art, when people try to talk you out of it, if they don't take you seriously or stop supporting you, it will affect you so much that creating your art will become a burden. Because building a sustainable small business is a long-term game. You need to find the intrinsic motivation why you want to create your art. And don't get too much caught up on the why. Chance is that your why will change over time. Which brings us to the next point. Get active. You will never feel like you're ready. Before I registered my small business, I tried to look up all my obligations as a small business owner. Because unexpected requests for money give me deep-rooted existential existential fears. Even though it gave me a sense of control, I couldn't prepare for every eventuality. Doing your research is important and also helpful, but you can also overdo it. If you find yourself overthinking which sketchbook suits you best, what pencil brand you should use, whether you have to paint 20 or 40 portraits before you can offer them as commissions, and you haven't even started painting yet, then you're not productive, you're procrastinating. Your first drawings, posts on social media, YouTube videos, whatever you decide to start, they probably won't be good. We all started like this. Don't fall into the research trap and don't let perfectionism hold you back. Practice and make your experiences. Happy Sunday! I just finished editing my photos from my originals for my shop. That was a very long sentence. I am creating videos on YouTube for over 5 years now. You just saw me in one of my first videos and look at me now. I invested in better equipment, I'm confident in front of the camera, and my presentation, storytelling and video editing improved with every video. Talking to the camera and vlogging in front of other people was very uncomfortable at the beginning. I forgot what I wanted to say, I was nervous, I was sweating. It was really awkward. But the more videos I shot, the more I got used to it. The same applies to my art practice. When I committed to taking my art seriously, I realized that I needed practice because my drawing skills had become somewhat rusty. At that time, I was very careful with whom I shared my art because in that fragile stage, I was easily affected by criticism. To regain confidence in sharing my artwork with others, I started posting my art on Tumblr without telling anyone and also without following anyone I knew. I created this space for myself in which I could freely create my art without the pressure of harsh criticism and improve my drawing skills. Practice is key to improve your art and to become more confident. There's no way around it. And you can't not get better at something you do regularly. You know you have done it before and you made it through, so you can do it again. Leaving your comfort zone feels horrible at first, which is normal and good. It's a sign that you're growing. Our lizard brain wants us to be safe, that we survive, and everything familiar is safe for our lizard brain. In case you don't know what a lizard brain is, it's the most primitive part of our brain. It's responsible for basic survival instincts. It reacts quickly to danger, seeks pleasure, and avoids pain. That's also why we tend to fall back into old habits if we don't pay attention. My lizard brain kicked in while I was working on this very video. Writing the script for this video took me twice as much time, and it was as if I had forgotten how to tell a story. I also had headaches, so physical symptoms, simply because I haven't done an educational art video in a long while. I was struggling with imposter syndrome, and I was worried that you're not interested in it. To conclude this point, everything that is unfamiliar can become familiar. Focus on your talent, don't compare yourself to others. It is easy to find yourself looking at other artists' work and feel like that you're not measuring up. Often it's artists who have owned their craft over many years. This comparison is even more unfair to yourself than comparing yourself to artists who are at your skill level. However, both of them are toxic for you and your art. Artists draw inspiration from a variety of sources, and in today's world it has become increasingly challenging not to be influenced by the art we encounter online. It is okay if you get inspired by the work of other artists. Ask yourself why you like this particular piece of art and how you can transform it into something new. But nothing beats the feeling of having created an authentic work of art. I would like to talk briefly about the topic of copying. We artists get angry, sad, frustrated about big companies stealing work from small artists, people using AI to take advantage of our work, and artists copying work from other artists. What you can do in the first two cases is not to support these companies and spread the word. If your work draws significant inspiration from another artist, you can credit or tag them to acknowledge their work and indicate that the original idea came from them. When emerging artists get called out about their copying behavior, it often comes with a sense of shame, and it doesn't have to be this way. I can't speak for all of us, but I'm pretty sure that we've all copied at some point. Whether we were just learning how to draw or we hadn't yet developed our intrinsic motivation and style. In moments moments like these, I think it's good to remember how we started as emerging artists. I would like to wrap up this point with a quote. I love to paint so much, I paint all day until I fell asleep right at my easel. And then one day, for some reason, I just couldn't paint anymore. I tried and tried, but nothing I did seemed any good. They were copies of paintings I had seen somewhere before, and not very good copies either. I just felt like I have lost my ability. But then I found the answer. You see, I hadn't figured out what or why I wanted to paint. I had to discover my own style. Celebrate your small successes. Small successes are the building blocks for confidence. Every sketch of yours that turns out better than the last one, every technique you master, and every moment of creative inspiration contribute to a growing sense of competence. Those achievements will remind you that progress is happening, even if it's not immediately visible on the grand scale. Also, focusing on small successes helps you to cultivate resilience. On your creative journey, you will face challenges and setbacks. By celebrating your small wins, you build a habit of recognizing your efforts and progress, which can provide you the motivation you need to maintain through difficult times. While your big successes are undoubtedly important, it's the small successes that give meaning to the big successes. Japan played a subtle yet significant role in my artist journey. I used to draw my favorite anime and video game characters and felt drawn to Japanese culture, fun little doodles, and mascots. When I got accepted for a group exhibition in Harajuku, Tokyo, it felt like everything had come full circle. Here I was showcasing my art in the country that had always inspired me and in a district where creativity and self-expression thrive. Although this exhibition didn't have a major impact on my artist career, it provided me with an experience that gave me the opportunity to work on my confidence. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It's all for free and you're supporting the channel by doing so. If there's any topic I touched on today that you would like to hear me talk about more, please let me know in the comments. A huge shout out to my patrons. Your support helps me to be able to take the time to create a video like this. If you enjoy my work and you want to support it, I put a few links in the description. Feel free to check them out. Besides my Patreon and my online store, I also have a Ko-fi now. See you in my next video.